Effective networking strategies. Now, this is going to be a very important lesson for you because that's where everything gets started. Reaching out to people. You have identified or defined your ICP, people who you want to target, but how exactly do you reach out to them? And that's what we are going to cover in this module. An introduction to networking. So, hello everyone, and welcome back to our LinkedIn marketing and lead generation bootcamp for B2B sales. Well, again, this is equally relevant for people looking for a new job, a new opportunity, looking to partner with a new business, or whatever it is. This is going to work for you really well. I'm Sawan Kumar, and today we are going to delve into the effective networking strategies on LinkedIn. Networking is not just about increasing your number of connections. It's about building meaningful relationships, and that can lead to mutually beneficial opportunities. Now, you do not have to be on LinkedIn so it's a social media networking platform. So when you hear the word networking, it has to be for the benefit of both, growth of both the parties. It is not, most of us fail in our networking efforts is because we only see ourselves. We only look at our goals and our objectives, and that's where the networking fails. So you have to look at a point where both of you get benefited, both of you grow, and both of you achieve their desired goals and objectives. So to continue, networking is not just about increasing your number of connections, like on Instagram, just increasing your number of followers or following so many people and getting a follow back is not what you need. It's about building a meaningful relationship that can lead to mutually beneficial opportunities. And that is what we are going to cover in this lesson. We'll explore how to grow your connection strategically, engaging with prospects authentically, and maintain relationships that fosters trust and drives business growth. The importance of networking on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a professional platform, as we all know. It's the world's largest professional network with over 900 million members as of 2023, and I'm sure in 2024 and in 2025 it must be a lot higher. B2B opportunities, well, 80% of B2B leads generated from social media come from LinkedIn business. Building trust, networking helps establish credibility and trust, which are essential in B2B sales cycles that can last for several months. So it's not a 1 day or a 2 day or a week's effort. It can last for several months. Connecting with a potential client or a potential employer on LinkedIn allows you to engage with their content, understand their needs, and be on the top of their mind when they are ready to make a purchasing decision or a hiring decision. So how do you grow your connections strategically? You start with personalization. So why personalized? Personalized invitations are more likely to be accepted. According to LinkedIn, personalized invitations have a 27% higher acceptance rate. Once again, personalized messages, customized messages to your ICP that we created will get you higher conversion rates. So how do you personalize? You introduce yourself, mention your name and role. Hi, I'm Sawan Kumar, the founder at Evolve 109. The reason for connecting, explain why you want to connect. You have seen a lot of random connection requests that you receive on LinkedIn that does not make any sense, and you never accept that request. So explain why you want to connect, and the common ground, reference mutual connections, shared groups, or some common interests. For an example, hi, I came across your profile through the digital marketing group. As a fellow marketing professional, I would love to connect and share insights on the latest industry trends, or I am looking to explore synergies where we both can be beneficial to each other. So something like this is how you personalize your message. Now let's talk about following versus connecting. So you have an option to follow, you have an option to connect. So what does following do? When you follow somebody, it allows you to see a person's post without being connected. Good for staying updated with industry leaders or prospects who may not accept connection requests. So let's say you want to connect to the industry leaders and influencers but they're not going to maybe accept your connection request. So what you do is you follow them and be in touch with them via their content and engaging with their content. You never know, when you engage with their content, they might end up sending you a connection request instead of you sending them a connection request and never being accepted. So that's why you follow somebody. Connecting, you establishes a two-way relationships, enables messaging and viewing full profile. So when you send a connection request and they accept your connection request, you now get access to their entire profile and you're now able to message them. Strategy, start by following a prospect, engage with their content before sending a connection request. This increases the likelihood that they will recognize your name. Okay, this was the guy who engaged with my content, or who asked this specific question, or who added a very good insight to my post. So something like that. So this increases the likelihood that they'll recognize your name and accept your invitation. So that's how you differentiate between following and connecting. Now, engaging with prospects, commenting on posts. Commenting on posts does not mean you just add a random comment on their post. That's great, that's wow, that's amazing. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about adding value. Share thoughtful comments that contribute to the conversation. Be genuine. Authenticity is what builds trust. Avoid generic comments like great post. Example, if a prospect shares an article on AI in marketing, you might comment, thanks for sharing this insightful piece. Sawan, I found a section on AI driven personalization particularly relevant. Have you implemented any AI strategy in your campaigns recently? Or this is where I have a different approach, I take it differently. So whatever your way of adding value could be with that post, go ahead and do that, and do not just write this comment like a great post or a good one or something like that. No, that won't work. Sharing relevant content. So position yourself as a thought leader. Share articles, insights, and news related to your industry. Mention people or companies when appropriate to increase visibility. LinkedIn reports that users who share content receive up to 2 times more connection requests than those who don't. So a helpful tip for this could be create a content calendar to consistently share valuable content. Moving on to using LinkedIn groups. Now, this is really big. Join relevant groups. Find groups where your target audience is active. Participate actively. Engage in discussions. Answer questions and share your expertise. For example, if you are in the SaaS industry, join groups like SaaS B2B Network or Software as a Service Professionals. Active group members get 4 times more profile views, and that comes from LinkedIn Marketing Solutions. So that's how you use LinkedIn groups. It's not that you join a group and you start sending random connection requests to everyone in the group. No, that won't work. What that would only do is you ending up with a conclusion that LinkedIn does not work for my business. So don't do that. Maintaining relationships. Regular check-ins. Stay on the top of mind. Periodically reach out to connections to nurture relationships. Occasions to reach out, job changes, work anniversaries, or after they share significant updates. For an example, hi, the name, I noticed you just celebrated 5 years at this company. Congratulations. How have things been progressing there? So that's again a very generic message, I would say. Make it further, customize it further, because everybody is sending these messages now via automation. So personalize it. The more you personalize, the better are your chances of being recognized and being seen and being remembered and staying on the top of the mind. That is the ultimate objective, to stay on the top of mind. Providing value before pitching. So provide a lot of value, create a lot of value. Social media is all about creating value. So you have to give before you ever ask for something. Share resources, offer white papers, case studies, or industry reports that might interest them. Offer help, assist with challenges they mention in posts or discussions. According to HubSpot, prospects are 82% more likely to schedule a meeting when sales reps reach out with valuable insights relevant to their business. Avoiding common networking mistakes. Some of the common networking mistakes that we do: spamming connections Don't ever spam connections. Avoid sending unsolicited sales pitches immediately after connecting. It is not going to work. Neglecting personalization. Generic messages can be off-putting. Ignoring reciprocity. Networking is a two-way street. Engage with others' content as much as you share your own. Salesforce reports that 73% of B2B buyers prefer sales reps who offer personalized communication. So personalization is the key. Creating value is the key. You cannot choose to avoid them, and that's the mistake that most of us do. Then comes leveraging advanced LinkedIn features like LinkedIn events. Host webinars or workshops, invite your network to join and share expertise, attend events, engage with attendees before, during, and after the events. LinkedIn polls are a good way to leverage one of the LinkedIn features. Engage your audience, create polls on industry topics to encourage interaction. For an example, what's your biggest marketing challenge in 2024? A. Lead generation. B. Content creation. C. Budget constraints. Or D. Measuring ROI. Now, the votes that you gets you a clear picture of what other industry leaders are thinking on this topic, and then you can reach out to the people who voted with a customized message that, hey, hi, you voted on my poll and this is what you said, but this is how I think and this is how I can help, and so on. So that's how you leverage LinkedIn's advanced features. Then you can utilize mutual connections. You ask for introductions, leverage existing relationships to connect with new prospects. For an example, hi, I noticed you are connected with the prospect name and I'm interested in discussing potential collaborations with them. Would you feel comfortable introducing us? Well, referrals have a 4 times higher conversion rate, and that's known to all of us. Now, consistency. That is the key on any social media platform. You post one day and then you vanish for 2 months, and then you again post one day or a week and then you again vanish for a month. That does not work. Set networking goals. Aim to connect with a certain number of people each week. Again, no spamming. Schedule time for networking. So every day, 30 minutes, you are going to network. Dedicate time daily or weekly to engage with your network, depending on what your bandwidth is. Use tools like Google Calendar or Trello to manage your networking activities. To measure your networking success, go and look at the key matrices: growth rate, engagement, responses, and views. Adjust strategies accordingly. So let's look at how this works. I'll come back to my LinkedIn profile. That's my profile. I will click on view profile. And if over here, if I will find the engagements. So that's the analytics, show all analytics. So 1065 post impressions, that's 660% more in the past 7 days. Increase in followers is 0.6%, profile viewers and search appearances. So that means the new posts that I have been making are giving me more impressions than what I used to do previously. So that's an insight into what you're doing, if you're doing it right or if you're doing something wrong. And that's how you measure your networking success. Some of the case studies to discuss I would love to. So Sarah was one of our students. She is a B2B sales professional aimed to expand her network in fintech industry. The strategy that she used, she personalized connection requests mentioning mutual interests, regularly shared industry articles and her own insights on those articles, engaged with prospects, posts meaningfully. The result, grew her connections by 200% in 6 months, increased inbound inquiries by 50%. So the lesson that we learn here is that consistent personalized engagement leads to significant network growth and opportunities. Some practical tips for effective networking. Well, keep a profile updated. An active and current profile encourages a connection. Be authentic. Show genuine interest in others. So I'm not taking a lot of time in explaining this because this is self-explanatory. Follow up after initial contact. Maintain the relationship with periodic touch points. For example, after attending a virtual event, message attendees you connected with to continue with the conversation. So some of the tools to enhance networking: LinkedIn CRM integration, sync contacts with your CRM for better relationship management. LinkedIn Sales Navigator provides insights and lead recommendations. Automation tools, well, use this wisely because LinkedIn might block you. Tools like well exceeds Zopto can automate some tasks, but should be used carefully to avoid violating LinkedIn policy. So you have to be very, very careful when you're using any of the automation tools. Overuse of automation can lead to account restrictions. Always prioritize genuine interactions, because there's no point of reaching out to thousands of people via automation and not getting any response over reaching out to 10 people and getting 5 responses. That changes everything. Adhering to LinkedIn etiquette. Well, respect connection limits. LinkedIn has weekly invitation limits to prevent spam. Avoid overposting, quality over quantity. Posting once or twice a day is sufficient. Be professional. Maintain a courteous tone in all interactions. LinkedIn is a professional platform. Don't forget this. Statistic profiles that are flagged for spam or inappropriate behavior can face account suspension. And I am sure you would not want that to happen, because you have built your LinkedIn profile for years and you cannot take that risk of being suspended. Then you have cultural sensitivity. If you are reaching out to people in different time zones, be mindful of time zones. Consider when your connections are most active. Respect diversity, use inclusive language, and be aware of cultural nuances. Example, when connecting to international prospects, avoid slangs or idioms that may not translate well with them. Next steps, well, set networking goals, define what you want to achieve, maybe connect with five new prospects weekly, identify key prospects, use your ICP to find and list potential connections, create a schedule, and so on. To recap, allocate specific time for networking activities, very important. Engage consistently, make engagement a habit, not an afterthought. Effective networking on LinkedIn involves strategic connection growth, authentic engagement, and relationship maintenance. By providing value and building trust, you pave the way for successful B2B interactions. And with this, we come to an end. Coming up next would be we delve into content marketing on LinkedIn, where we'll learn how to develop a content strategy that resonates with your network. We'll be looking at I think ChatGPT and other AI tools, and how you can use those tools or leverage those tools to build your content strategy and prepare your content. So, thank you for joining me in this lesson on effective networking strategies. Remember, networking is about quality and not quantity. By investing time and effort into building genuine relationships, you will unlock new opportunities of growth. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the Q&A section or in the Facebook or the LinkedIn group that you might have joined, and I'll be happy to help. Let's continue building your LinkedIn prowess together. See you.